Welcome to the Tell Our Stories podcast. I'm Steph Bender.
And I'm Perry Chris. On today's episode, we got to speak to John and Pam Stockbridge, residents at Luther Manor Independent Living in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Just over 2 weeks ago, John was lucky enough to be passenger for the Milwaukee Mile hot lap, taking a few trips around the mile-long IndyCar track in a modified Camaro pace car.
Reaching speeds of over 140 miles per hour, he barely had time to hear Pam cheering him on as he zoomed past the stands.
Listen in as they recount their experience of the day, from arriving at the grounds to getting to speak to the other IndyCar drivers, as well as other engagement opportunities at Luther Manor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and listen in to today's episode of the Tell Our Stories podcast.
Start by introducing yourselves.
I'm John Stockbridge, resident at Luther Manor.
I'm Pam Stockbridge, also a resident at Luther Manor and married to him.
Great. I want to hear, so how did you guys hear about this opportunity to participate with Milwaukee Mile?
From what I understand, Direct Supply received an opportunity to ride in the pace car, and somebody at Direct Supply decided that the gift should go to someone else. They wanted to give the gift away, and they chose our organization, our CEO, because our CEO, Stephanie Shadid, has apparently worked closely with a lot of the folks at Direct Supply. Mm-hmm. Stephanie got it, and somehow or other, it trickled down to me. I'm not exactly sure how the selection process worked, but I'm glad for it.
Sure.
Absolutely. Lottery ticket.
Yeah. Was it a hard sell, or were you an easy yes?
I was an easy yes. I got a call from the director of Independent Living, and when she told me what it was about, she first of all said it was NASCAR. I found out later, obviously, that it wasn't.
Right. For those less acquainted, IndyCar, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're one and the same, no?
And she asked me, and I said, let me talk to my wife, because it was on Sunday, and we usually go to church on Sunday. And she said, go for it. So I called back and said, yes, I will be glad to do it.
Yeah. Pam, what was that conversation like for you when he came with this news?
Oh, I was very excited for him to have the opportunity to do this. Mm-hmm. Appreciative that Luther Manor got it, and somehow he got chosen.
Did you have any idea going into it what was going to happen? Or was it broadly you were just going to show up and have a good time?
Well, I tried to figure it out, but I really didn't understand much of what was going on. I figured we'd show up, we'd get onto the grounds, and then from there on, we'd try and figure out what was going on. Mm. And Brian was great in terms of guiding us toward the different places that we had to go, and had a great time.
That's fantastic. Are either of you IndyCar fans in your pastime, or is this sort of like this came up with the moment?
This came up with the moment. Okay. It was, if you'd asked me a week before, if I was a race fan, I would have said no.
It's never too late for new hobbies.
There you go. Yeah.
My best friend since kindergarten and her husband are huge race fans.
Oh, great.
So we hear a lot from them about the different races, and we were able to share the day with them because they were there as well.
Oh, are they local?
Yes.
Okay. I assume they were just, overflowing with jealousy.
Pretty much so. Our Pam's friend from kindergarten said, our daughter is going to be so jealous.
Wow, that's great. So walk me through the day. When you get there, how did you get down to the track? Did you get to meet the drivers?
We got down to the track, walked in, walked around trying to figure out what was what. The three pace cars were parked near the entrance at that point, they were moved a little while later. And so we walked over, looked at those. Pam took a couple of pictures, and then we walked around and saw mechanics working in the on the engines. Saw the all the stuff that was going on in the infield, and it was amazing to see the cars just being pushed around.
Sure.
Because they didn't run on their own engine, obviously, right. And they were pushed on little caddies, and it was really interesting to see all the different teams that were there, all the different cars that were there. It was just really interesting. And then we found out where we needed to go to register. I had to have a speed release.
Ooh.
So it said, nobody can sue us for anything that happens to you.
Hands. Right, yeah.
But I felt safe the entire time.
Good.
But
Awesome.
turned that in, and then there was a short line of people who were going in the race cars or in the pace cars, and got in line and got a seat. The driver welcomed me. It was I think a modified Camaro. Two seats.
Okay.
There was nothing in the back seat.
Built for speed.
Yes. Yes. And then as I went around the track, she explained the different speed limits. You can go, the pit speed limit is 45 miles an hour. Once you get to that point, that line, then it's a 80 mile an hour speed limit up to a certain other point. And then she said after that, it's free.
Wow.
Imagine that on the road.
Seriously, yeah. Did they give you one of those, racing suits with all the padding and stuff?
No,
Okay.
I didn't have it. I didn't have a helmet on either.
Ooh, all right.
Rebellious.
Wind in your hair as you're going, right?
So about the lap, how was it? I mean, how fast did you get?
Well, it was actually, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 laps. The first lap was pretty much getting up to speed, and then the driver was a female, and I don't know her name. And during going down the straightaways, I think we were hitting about 140.
Boy.
And then I didn't think, but she had to hit the brakes to go around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And was only doing the corner at 80.
Only 80. Wow. Child's play.
Whipping you.
80.
I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Wow. Did it feel? I mean, I've never gotten up that fast in a car. Did it feel like? Feel fast?
I didn't feel any gravitational pull, any G's.
Okay. You weren't pulling any.
No. And matter of fact, I felt very comfortable. The driver was fantastic.
That's great.
You realized it mainly on the way home.
Yeah. On the way home,
They come down.
we were driving on the freeway and going the speed limit. And
Which must have felt like a crawl to you.
And that's
at that
exactly what I said.
Yeah.
It feels like we're not going anywhere.
How is it for you, Pam, seeing the car go, just ludicrously fast?
It was really exciting seeing him go and get belted in, watching, and it's like, woo, okay, I think that was his car. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, he's back already.
He's already back.
And he walked out with this huge smile and thumbs up, and it was just one of the best days for me to see him get this opportunity.
That's delightful.
So what does it mean for you two to have an experience like this? I know you said it's incredible, but it's pretty unique too.
It was very unique. And like I said before, not something I would have ever imagined me being able to do. I think it was a very, very generous gift that Direct Supply gave, and then to be the lucky person who got it was just amazing. And I'm sure I'll never have a chance to do that again. So I'm really thankful.
For me, the first feeling was such gratitude that this was given to Luther Manor, excuse me, and that he was the one who was chosen.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just so thankful and seeing the joy in him, and he's just such a warm, giving person, and it was so good to see him get something back.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the parts, when you look back on this day, you know, years from now, what are some of the brightest moments that'll stick out to you?
I think the brightest moments were meeting some incredible people that I would never have had an opportunity to connect with at all.
Yeah.
Brian Perry was pretty nice.
Very nice.
Did he pay you to say that?
Yeah, he paid me for that. I enjoyed meeting Bob and Jenny Hillis, Genevieve, and it sounded like Genevieve was somehow or other connected with making that gift happen. And then there was Genevieve introduced us to somebody else, and Genevieve arranged for us to get an all access pass.
VIPs.
Awesome.
And the Hillises invited us up to their hospitality suite to watch the race.
Whoa.
That was wonderful. But the people were great. We got to meet the drivers, a couple of the drivers for Ed Carpenter's team. And it was just a fun afternoon. And the weather was wonderful.
Well, that's even better. Cherry on top there.
What are some words you would offer to someone who got offered this opportunity but didn't know if they should take it?
How would you prep somebody for
A day
a
like
day
this?
Yeah.
I'd say if you really don't want to do it, let me.
Twist my arm.
Yeah.
Again,
No. I would say, it's an opportunity, really an opportunity of a lifetime. Mm-hmm. That's the way it was advertised to me, and I thought, I've lived a lot. I didn't think that it would be such a unique and amazing experience, and I tell whoever was questioning that would be the thing to do. It's you're not going to have that opportunity, that chance to do it very often, and it was just incredible.
How long have you guys lived here at Luther Manor?
2.5 years.
Okay. And I know that obviously this Milwaukee Mile event was a pretty rare, pretty once in a blue moon kind of thing. But are there opportunities to have sort of activities and involvement, things like this at this place?
There are all kinds of activities. A lot of them are based here. We leave campus. There's a bus that will take us to lots of different things. There's a bus that goes to downtown Milwaukee for the symphony. They have we're going to Apple Orchard in September. We're going to go out for dinner at a hibachi restaurant as a group. And
we're going to China Lights.
Lots of things off campus. And then on campus, there are card games for people who are addicted to cards.
Quite a few residents.
There are movies. There are several different exercise opportunities that people can take advantage of. And there's a cocktail party and several other things.
A lot of opportunities to do art. There's a craft room here. There's a knitting room. We have a lot of music, and Amanda, our wonderful life enhancement specialist, does a lot of educational seminars that we can go to, and Luther Manor offers several science-based, like 6 to 8 to 12-week programs from the National Council on Aging, I believe it's called, which have been absolutely wonderful.
That's great.
It sounds like you guys have a lot on your your daily agenda.
I don't think there are many days that go by when we just simply sit in our apartment unless we choose to.
Sure. Sometimes we need that.
But there are some people who don't do much, but if they do one or two things, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And the social part of living here is really great. We moved here right at the end of the COVID stuff, and we missed volunteering because we enjoyed doing that. COVID had taken up all the volunteer stuff, and we can volunteer at Luther Manor on all kinds of different things. And before we moved here, we were in our condo, and there was very little socialization, and there are all kinds of social opportunities here.
That's important, I think,
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
aging vibrantly. And then one more question. So when you got back from the race, were you the talk of the town?
Yes,
Big
I
man around campus,
was.
yeah.
There, I would walk down the hall, and one lady bowed and said, "You're a celebrity."
Rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah. Could get used to that, huh?
No, I found that very uncomfortable, quite frankly.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got, but thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to us. It's so lovely to hear about it, and so glad you guys got to have that experience.
Thank you.
We want to extend another thank you to John and Pam for not only participating in the Hot Lap, but for also sharing their experience with us.
If you want to learn more about Luther Manor, you can find them on luthermanor.org.
As always, you can hear more from us at Tell Our Stories on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or at TOS Senior Care on X and LinkedIn.
And if you have a story you want to share, send us a message at info@tellourstories.com.
Thank you for tuning in.